Ian's Craft El Sol. Great to see you all, or hear from you all. Thanks very much to my current subscribers and all the new ones that I've got. Many thanks. I'm currently actually in the UK for a wedding, so I've done these videos before I left. So I'm doing just one a week while I'm away. I'm back at the end of October. So what I've done now is I've got a tutorial on this Tuxedo file folder. I've seen a lot of the Tuxedo pockets made out of the book pages. So I thought I'd have a go with some craft card. So I've done this using some ephemera from my stash. These actual papers are from Tuxedo's craft table. And then I've made a little notebook inside like this. So I thought I'd show you with some few little tags in. Again, all from my stash. I'm trying to use things up. And I fastened it with Velcro. So I thought I'd show you how I do it. To start off with, you need a sheet of craft card. I've got, I think this is 160, but it feels quite flimsy, funny enough. But it is quite okay for it. I've got, for the journal, I've got an envelope, some beeswax paper, some greaseproof paper that I've used when I've tea dyed to go inside, some sheets of tea dyed paper. I've got some vellum maps. I'm doing a map theme as I've still got lots of map and atlas pages left. I've also got some of these maps I've printed from, I'm not sure what I'll be using all of them, from Digital Collage Club, antique cartography maps. So I've done some different ones from around the world, and I've got some only 2 sheets at the moment from my atlas. I'm going to use this one as the cover, I think. That way. No, that way. The cover will go that way. And some sheets I might just put on the craft, or I might use some of these. So, first of all, getting to doing the measurements. Okay, I've got my scoreboard and the sheet of craft card. I will put the measurements down below. They're quite a bit much to put on the screen. So you first of all score at 3.5. There. I've got them written down. And then 3 7/8, which gives you 3/8 of an inch spine. There. And then you're going to have a 4-inch back cover. So you then go to 7 7/8. There. And then you're going to have a 1/4 inch spine. I make this one slightly smaller than this one because this side is going to have the journal in. And it seems to have worked quite well. So you then score at 8 1/8. There. And then from the bottom, to fold it up to make the pockets, you score at 1.5 inches. Do it that way. So, about there. Like that. Get rid of that for a minute. So, I then fold up here. Do you know, I did forget my bone folder. There it is. Bone folder across there. Now I fold this in first to make the spine for the small notebook, whatever, journal, whatever you want to call it. There. And then you fold in here and fold up there. So you've got that folding in there and that folding in there, like that. So then I take this one, the front one, and I fold it over to just probably 1/8 of an inch in and fold down like that. Then this one I fold over so I can get it roughly, flatten that for a minute, maybe a little bit more so that I can see, move it up a bit, but it's roughly the same size, whoops, as the other one. Oh, that's time that's there, yeah, just a fraction. Like that. So you have it, oops, like that. See, so that's like that. So now I've got to decide on the papers and then gluing up the sides and up the middle here. So I'll come back in a minute once I've chosen the papers and show you what I've done. I've got the papers here, and what I've done, I've decided to put this one on the front, this one over here, and then on the back I've got this one to go on there. Now in the middle, but the first part you do is the inside, because you're going to be folding this up, so you need these sheets on first. So I've decided what I'm doing. So to start off with, you glue these in, and yes, I did mark inside left, inside right, middle, to make sure I'd got them all in the right place. So I've already inked them in vintage photo. So now I've just got to put them on here. And these ones, obviously, I go quite close to the top and the sides, as we will be there. And I use my roller just to make sure and roll it out. Right, so this goes like this, bearing in mind this one is obviously slightly bigger than these two. So glue these on. I've also got some map material that I'll be using to put on the spine there, just to give it a bit of reinforcement. Next, I think what I will do is decide on the papers. Whoops, oh dear. The papers for the journal, what I'm going to put, well, small notebook that I'm going to be putting inside. There, that's going to turn up, so that should be all right. Yeah. And then this one here. I'm using tacky glue, by the way. I know I've tried using the glue sticks recently, but I did something the other day and it all started coming up. So, and I've got a decent Yoo-hoo glue, so I thought it would be all right, but unfortunately it hasn't. I had to re-glue it all down, re-stick it down. Right. So we need to glue there, there and there, but first I think I'll stick these on. I'll use my thinner one, because what I will do as well is put some clips on just for a little while, for an hour or so, to make sure the glue's dry, because this is quite what I call bouncy paper. it's stiff, but it doesn't lay very flat, regardless of the fact that I've actually burnished the edges and everything. So, whoops. Okay. So I hope you have a go at one of these. What I do like with these is that they're quite flat to send in an envelope on a swap, and you can use I don't know what I've done with it. I haven't got it there. You can use the collage papers here. You know, the different collage papers that you can get, that some of the designers do, which is why I quite like it, because then you don't have to match everything up, and which is why I like the matte one. Plus I have this matte material and lots of atlas. If anybody knows of anything you can do with atlases, please tell me. I've got a couple of them, and I haven't torn the pages out yet, but I'm getting to that stage when I'm going to have to start tearing them out and putting them somewhere. Right, so that's like that. So now put glue over this, some you can see down there, glue around this here, and then some down there. I'll do a little bit more in the middle here. Right, see, it pops up. So you have to really, really push it down. With my paper anyway, you might have a better paper than me, so it'll be a bit easier. So what I've done, I've put these little clips, quilting clips on. The sides are not so bad, it's these middle bits that, so having said that, look, that one's not sticking now. There, really. So I'll wait for them to dry, and then I'll put these sheets on the other side, and I'll be back showing you the journal. All the sheets are now, the folio's covered, and I will give you a quick tip. When you're folding this over and you've already got it glued, just gently bend it over your ruler so that the paper doesn't crack or curl up. Okay, so now we're on to the cover of the journal inside, the small journal notebook. What I've done, I've got two sheets that I've cut all the edges off. Now it's 6.5 inches, whoops, in depth. So I'll cut both of these at the same time. Put that up there and that over there. 6.5 is there. And then it's 7.5 to fold that way. So I'm going to cut off this side. 7.5 is there. Small strips. So what I'm going to do, just to give it some strength, is I'm gluing these two together, and then they'll be folded. So that will be the journal there. So I'll just glue these. Like that. Not loads of glue, just a big blob there, isn't there? That way, because I want Italy, don't I? So these will stick together like that. And what I've forgotten, I can use my bone folder. Just to push the glue out. Whoops, I've gone out of there. Over the mat now. Right, now I need to let that dry. there. And what I've also got is this lovely map material here that I'm intending to make a map journal with. As I've got to say, I've got lots of atlas pieces. So what I've done, I've cut 2 pieces that way to reinforce the spine down here. And for that, I use my crimping. Now this is going to be the outside one here. So I crimp on there, roughly there. Crimp that there. Yeah. And then I'll just go up the sides. Like this. I'm getting better at keeping straight with these as well now. And then up the side here. Practice makes perfect, doesn't it? So I'll be putting that way round on there, like that. So, and then the same on the inside there. Just need to glue them, get my 3-in-1 or equivalent that we have over here, and glue on the inside. I've made the plainer one on the inside there, so that it's in the middle, like that. And then the same here. Oh dear, come on, out you come. That's it, down here. And so try and line them up so they're both the same. There. So now I need to let them dry as well. Put them aside, and then I've got the papers to do, and the papers are going to be 6 by 7. They don't have to be exact. These ones I'm looking at, where's my tear ruler? Here, got my tear ruler. So these need to be 7. No. Okay, I've done that wrong. Where's my cutter? There. Sorry about that. I've realised that my guitar ruler's in centimetres. So, what I will do then is put my top on the glue to start off with. Is these need to be 7 by 6. I did tear the other ones, but these I think I'm thinking about it. I've got quite straight edges with this vellum sheet, so I'm going to make this 7 as well. And I think I'll cut off the bottom by 6. There, I can use them in something else, can't I? So that's that. Then this I will just fold in half, and I will tear this down. Let's fold this in half so we can see roughly where we are, like that. Right. I'll tear this down under here, turn it that way round, just there. Use them for something else, so they can go in there. Yep. And then I've also got a envelope which I will stick down on the edge like this, over the edges like that, and then I'm going to cut a very thin sliver off the side and off the other side, so that you've got an opening both sides there, like that. Fold that in half so I can put some small tags inside there. That can go in there. Then I also have this, which I'm actually think I'm going to cut down there, like that. Fold that over. And then there's that as well. So I've got a few different pages in there. What I'll do is I'll cut the rest of the pages, and then hopefully when I come back and I've done that, we can then put the cover together once it's dry and sew it together and sew it into the journal, which I don't know what I've done with. Here, where it's drying, and sew it into the journal. Okay, it's Saturday morning, not particularly having a good day here, am I? See you in a minute when I've cut the rest of the pages. Right, I've put all the pages together, as you can see here. So now I'm going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and therefore I'm putting it in my book, and then I'm piercing the holes through, which I'm sure most of you know how to do, like this. I do make these a little bit bigger because I've got to use these as a guide for this. Now I have found roughly where my middle is on the spine inside, which is there. You can see I've put a little black dot, which with the map material is quite good. Just looks like another island. And in fact that is quite in the middle. Might bring it up a little bit. So what I do now, I will mark next to that a little black mark where I need to pierce the hole. I will put this ruler down as well, like that. There and there. And then what I do, I'm going to take this, if you can see, make sure I get my ruler so I'm lined up straight. Just double check. It's the trouble, isn't it? We don't, that's it there. So put one through there. One through there, and then one through there. I hope. This, when I was doing it before, is quite difficult. You've got to make sure you get the hole. Now, I'm going through the middle, and then through the middle of this here, and then up there, up through these. It's all quite loose at the moment, and then down through them to that one, and then up through the middle, we hope. This is where it all gets a bit tricky. as you can see, because you have to pull it out a bit to see where you're going and try not getting the cotton that's already in there. And I haven't quite got through all of it. In truth, I can undo them now. And try and get through that one. Okay, I'm having a bit of trouble. Right, I'll be back in a second. Okay, that took a bit of work to get through. I think it's quite thick card, but all of you know generally the pamphlet stitch anyway. So now just make sure you've got it all tight in and in down the edges there before you tie it off. So I'll just tie a knot for now. Like that. And then I put a little bow in the middle. Nope, I can't even do bows now. It's still Saturday, by the way. No, it's Sunday now. Oh dear, I'm even losing track of the days, aren't I? Right, so that goes like that, and as you can see, it's quite well sewn in, and there, and this will go over there. I must admit, I do probably now put it under something heavy, or I will clip it, probably clip it actually down with these, just to hold it down overnight so that it stays down. But again, I've got thick card, depending on what card you do and what card you use. Now the next thing is I've made a journal card with some of the paper. I found these are some scrapbook paper that I had, and I sort of cut out as a little small journal card. And then in here I've found some map stickers I got years ago, so I thought I'd use them to start off with. So I'll put these on first. I've never used these, so I'm hoping, yes, it does come off. Yep. And I'm putting them straight onto coffee dyed paper. No, tea dyed paper. I don't know why I say coffee. I tea dye everything. I much prefer it. Put this down here. There. And then I'll use my glue. This is actually, that's the backing side to it was a double-sided sheet of scrapbook paper. It was a lovely pack, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was now. Put these here. That. And then this one. Down there. Whoop. At least the reason it's empty, my glue, and I'm trying to get the last scraps out of it. Do we all do that, or is it just me? I always try and keep my glue going as long as I can. I think it's more because living here it's hard to get hold of some of these glues, so you like to keep it going. Right, and then there's this one which fits nicely in the middle there. So I'll glue that. Like that. Put that in the middle. Then what I'm going to do is let these dry before I cut them, because I've done this before where I've cut them while they've been wet and it messes them all up. So I'm going to let these dry, and then I'll come back with them all cut and ready, and then we can decorate. See you in a minute. Right, I've held this down so it's a bit better now. As I say, it all depends what card you use. And I've got the large journal card here I've done, which I'm going to slot in there. And then I've got the 2 smaller journal cards for in there. And then I have the 2 tags, and what I'm going to do is I've got some scraps of the material. Actually, I might use that one. I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm just going to use my tiny attacher and put them on there. I've backed them in coffee, as you know, tea dyed, and I've inked them up with vintage photo. I mean, this is a great opportunity, something like this, to use bits and pieces you've got in your stash, but also it's things you haven't used for years, anything like that. Now, the other thing, I was looking for travel words and I couldn't find any, so I decided to have a go myself. So I've got them in black and white, and I've got them on coffee paper as well. These are going to be available as a digital in my Etsy shop. I've made these up myself, so now I've just got to decide which ones I'm going to use. I like this one. Once a year, go someplace you've never been before. Maybe that could go on the top there. And then you've got experience, travel. These are an education in themselves. Oh, I like this one. A good traveller has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Maybe there. The thought of going abroad makes my heart leap. The world is a book, and those who do not travel only read one page. Adventure is worthwhile. I like that one as well. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Roam abroad in the world and take thy fill of its enjoyments. There was one here. Live life with no excuses, travel with no regret. I actually quite might prefer that one. And then travelling leaves you speechless, then turns you into a storyteller. I quite like that one for the front. Right, I can't decide. A good traveller has no fixed plans. Live life with no excuses, don't you? Right, so I'm just going to ink these up. These you cut out themselves. You can round the corners, etc. if you want to. Entirely up to you what you do with them. But when I was looking for words, I just couldn't find any out there. I thought this is probably the better way to go. There. As I say, I don't do a lot of decoration with this one, especially because it's got all the map pages, so it's quite busy as it is. So go. Just got to stick these on. Glue them there. And then this one on there. I mean, you can decorate with anything you like, really, depending what your theme is. With this one, as you can see, I used kind of nature inspired and inspiration ones. Quotes. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself at the moment because I'm using up my scraps now. So that's there, and then I think I'm going to put this one on the front. Like that. Oops. Now, I'm going to do the closure, but I did have another thought about the closure. I'm going to use a Velcro dot for this one. But what you could do is pierce a hole here and put in an eyelet, and then tie some elastic round. I'm going to use the Velcros. Now, what I've had to do with these is, with the first one, is I can't, you have to leave it to glue. So you have to put it in position and then leave it where it is, otherwise it does come up. Right. So the top ones doesn't seem to be too bad, and they're ever so sticky. But I do put an extra bit of glue on as well. Now, you've got to be careful because you've got the tags in the other side. So I did it just about there. As you can see, it moves around a lot. So you then put it down, and then I leave it to really see it doesn't stick very well. I then leave it to really stick, and I stick on a hopefully a paper clip which holds it down a bit. Yeah, or put something heavy on top of it like that. Yeah, as you can see, the Velcro dots can cause a few problems, which is why I thought of the eyelet with the elastic. But after it glued down and had stayed down, it worked out quite well with this one. This one stays down now once it's all glued. It's not a problem. So I will leave that to dry. However, you know now, so this, I finished it really now. If you want, I'll put the measurements in the bottom. So thanks very much for looking. Check out my Etsy shop with my new travel words. And thanks very much for subscribing. If you're new here, it'd be great if you'd hit that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you to all my current subscribers, and speak to you soon. Bye.